Collectors, thrifters, and savvy shoppers, listen up. Perfectly Picked Games brings you the best board game and toy deals live every week. Join our Whatnot shows on Tuesdays and Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern for limited time auctions you won't find anywhere else. First timer? Use Golden Mojo to take 10% off your first purchase. Fast deals, fun finds, and big savings on Whatnot.
You spooky chasers, hop on in the car with Golden J and take a ride down Route 66 as you explore all the haunted and abandoned places left down a road long ghosted. And you never know what hitchhiker might get picked up along the way. So buckle up as we take a haunted trip down 66.
Hello, all of my paranormal freaks out there. It is Golden J, and we're taking a haunted trip down 66. Guys, I'm so happy that you are heading down this road with me. We've accumulated quite a few haunted places as we went along here, and we're just going to continue down. We got lots of places to go yet. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope nobody overeat, nobody ended up in the hospital, nobody got into some political debate with their family members, which started a fight. I'm just saying, 3 things you don't talk about, and that's politics, religion, and women. Let's change women to relationships. Those are the things you don't talk about. Sammy Kershaw once said, politics, religion, and her. Let's talk about anything else but those. So, gotta love a little Sammy. Go check that song out. Politics, religion, and her. Love that song. All right, guys, we are heading down 66, and we're going to come to Oklahoma City. We're heading to Oklahoma City to the Skirvin Hilton Hotel. Listen, the hotel is in a historic 13-story, 225-room hotel in downtown Oklahoma City. It is the city's oldest hotel and is listed on the National Registry of Historical Places. The hotel is managed by the Marcus Hotels and Resort under, that's right, you guessed it, the Hilton brand. The hotel opened on September 26, 1911 with 224 rooms in a 10-story, 2-wing tower. The third 12-story wing was added in 1925, and in 1929, 1930, all 3 wings were raised up to 13 floors, with a total of 525 rooms. The hotel is named for its founder, William Skirvin, whose daughter became the ambassador of Luxembourg under Harry Truman. I would pronounce his daughter's name Pearly. I'm going to say Pearly. That's a tough one. I'm not sure. But anyways, in 1945, the Skirvin Hotel and the Skirvin Tower were sold to a local hoteler, Dan James. Over the years then, James executed several renovation works to revitalize the hotel and attract tourists visiting Oklahoma. Now, some of the new amenities included like air conditioning, a new swimming pool, some new furniture. And then the hotel actually closed in 1988 due to low occupancy. And you know what? For the next 19 years, it just sat abandoned. Man, I find that so hard to believe. 19 years to just sit there. I guess, I don't know, with all the renovations in the 40s and 50s, I mean, I would think that it would be somewhat updated and wouldn't be just a wreck, a disaster. But the hotel actually reopened in 2007 with renovation projects restoring the original exterior, installing historical accurate windows, reconfiguring guest rooms, and adding new guest elevators. The larger rooms brought the number of rooms down to 225, with 22,000 square feet of meeting rooms and common areas. Rumors of haunting in the hotel persist and have been cited by the National Basketball Association. That's the NBA, boys and girls. Most notable examples occurred in 2010 when the New York Knicks famously blamed their loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder on the hauntings, and when the Chicago Bulls reported reported of doors slamming shut on their own and strange sounds outside of their room. The story received national attention again in June 2012 when the Miami Heat were staying in the hotel for the NBA Finals. And then, of course, more recently, the Baylor Lady Bears, who were defending the National Collegiate Athletic Association, that's the NCAA division, the women's basketball champions. They were put up in the hotel. In one of the biggest upsets in tournament history, the Lady Bears unexpectedly lost 82-81 to Louisville in the regional finals of the 2013 NCAA division women's basketball tournament. In January of 2019, the Brooklyn Nets star Kyrie Irving announced that he was producing a film about the paranormal activity in the hotel. I'm not sure if that actually happened. I don't know, but you can go check it out. Of course, room 1015 is rumored to be the most haunted room in the hotel. And, of course, as the story goes, the original owner had an affair with a maid named Effie, which led to a pregnancy. And then to protect his reputation and avoid scandal, he locked the maid in room 1015. And, of course, she eventually jumped out the window, killing herself and the baby. To avoid negative press attention, the death was written off as a suicide by a saleswoman who killed herself. Of course, I just want to make sure that I throw this out there. That is rumored. That is, yeah. I don't want to plant my flag on that one, but it seems pretty legit. But I don't know, man. It was a different time. Over the years, the hotel staff say they have seen objects moving by themselves, have heard strange noises at night, and according to Steve Lackmeyer, who also co-wrote a book about the hotel, and Jason Kersey, a reporter from the Oklahomian, Skirvin was a notorious womanizer and drinker, and the 10th floor was known for various incidents of gambling and other vices, but there is no real-life evidence corresponding to the Effie story. Skirvin's family died believing that he had an employee, his assistant and bookkeeper, Mabel, who was his mistress, but she outlived him. I don't know, man. It's just weird. But as always, old Golden J headed over to Reddit to see what was going on with the Skirvin Hotel. We got much tonight. 5453 wrote, "The story may be an urban legend, but I did stay here once and have something happen. Traveled from Dallas to Oklahoma City to see a girl I had met a few months prior and booked a room here because it seemed like the only really cool place to stay. I had read it was haunted, but didn't think much of it. During the night, we kept hearing a baby crying from the closet in our room and assumed the hotel had thin walls and our neighbors had a baby that was fussy. The next morning, we were talking about it, and I ended up finding the stories about Effie on Google. We thought, wow, that's super creepy, and decided to go find the room where the baby was crying from, They decided to go find the room where the baby was crying from to set our minds at ease. The room was surrounded on all sides by the hallway and an exterior of the building. No neighboring rooms on that side of the suite. Still gives me the chills to think about. All right. Low Image 6438. 100% believe every story. I stayed here a few months ago, had weird energy upon arriving to this hotel. I had told my girlfriend to check on Google if this place was haunted. Read all the articles and stories about Effie. I took it seriously. My girl did not. Throughout the night, she kept mentioning Effie jokingly. Next day, I dropped my girl off to go back home at the airport, and now I was staying alone at this point, but had a friend staying across the street at the Sheridan. It's 1 a.m. I was up playing Clash Royale. Now there's a fucking push for, yeah. He was playing that on his phone. Suddenly I hear clawing along the walls in the distance. Noise started to sound like it was getting closer to my door. I'm walking towards the sound as it gets near. Now I hear this clawing going up my door. Then I hear 3 loud knocks. I'm already standing by the door at this point. I instantly look through the peephole. Nobody there. Less than a second, I open the door. Still nobody to be seen anywhere. I ran down to question staff if anybody was up there messing around. They validated my story and told me another guest previous night had same thing happen. Yeah. If you guys don't believe these stories, all you gotta do is ask, how come security guards have so fast turnarounds? Nobody wants this job. Listen, man, I'm as illiterate as anybody else, but man, some of those sentences ran together. Oh, anyways, so yeah, clawing the walls, knocks on the doors. Telling you, that's good stuff, man. You can pick that stuff up. It's good. All right, I got one more. This is from Comfortable Fan 1242. Just stayed there. Really cool hotel. Great ice cream on the first floor. Interesting couple of tidbits. The 10th floor is supposed to be haunted. I had been joking with a couple on the elevator going up that at least they weren't staying on the 10th floor. After I put away some things, I took the elevator down from the 12th floor. It stopped on the 10th with no one there. Then a friend of mine told me a story about how she had been in the shower and the door kept on opening. She is an engineer and was doing testing to make sure it wasn't just some issue with the friction stops. And it wasn't. Happened to her 5 times, each when she had her eyes closed in the shower. Haunted? Can't say. But I gotta say, it's pretty interesting phenomenon. So there you go. A few stories from the Skirvin Hotel there in Oklahoma City. I mean, that ain't too bad. Except for Mr. Run-On sentence there. That's not bad. All right. We are headed down to DePaul, Oklahoma. And I believe that this is a ghost town. So let me give you the history, shall we? About 7 miles beyond Bristow, Oklahoma, Route 66 travelers head west and will arrive in the small hamlet of DePaul. with a population of 411 at the 2020 census. Wow. The area around DePaul is originally with the Creek Nation Indian Territory. However, in 1896, the Indians were assigned allotments of land and forced to give up the rest so homesteaders could settle the region, the land which would later become DePaul. The St. Louis and San Francisco Railroad had already come through in 1898. And the land would be perfect for commercial use. Mr. Melee visited the site on January 15, 1901. Returning to Briscoe the next day, he and Henry Sims bought the property for $10 an acre. Then on January 30th, 1901, Mr. Male drew up a petition for a post office, and the first recommendation for the town named being DePaul after Chancey DePaul, the U.S. New York Senator. When Oklahoma became a state in 1907, DePaul began to grow. In its early years, DePaul served primarily as the agricultural support center, and the first state bank opened in October 1907. The first newspaper, the DePaul Independent, was established in 1908 and by W.C. Coop, and would operate until the late 40s. And then in 1909, the population grew to about 150, and a new public school was built, and the first church was a Methodist church. After oil was found in 1911, the town grew rapidly. And then, of course, in 1915, the oil fields were developed, and the Chapala and Oil Field Railroad constructed a line from DePaul to Shamrock. These were thriving times for DePaul, and by the mid-20s, the town also boasted 3 lumber yards, another drugstore, a dentist, 3 grocery stores, 2 barbershops, 2 mechanic shops, a pipe yard, 3 service stations, a baker, a Ford automobile dealership, which later became a Chevy dealership, 2 indoor theaters, 2 hardware stores, 4 hotels, several grain mills, 3 gasoline plants, and a funeral home. Of course, more churches were built, including a Baptist, a Grace, and a Church of God. Whew. However, like so many other cities, DePaul began to suffer from the arrival of the Great Depression in 1929. Unfortunately, the oil boom was waning at the same time. DePaul was reported a peak population of 1,126 in 1930. It suffered over the next several decades as many people left, businesses closed, the Chamber of Commerce folded, and even houses were moved out of town. By the late 1930s, there were only 2 grocery stores, 1 bank, 1 dry goods store, a hardware store, 2 service stations, and a few other businesses. In 1940, the population had fallen to 876. 20 years later was worse. The town supported only about 686 people. Today, the picturesque small town, unfortunately, lined with empty business buildings, testifying to more prosperous days. It still supports an elementary school and a high school, and the vast majority of the people are employed in jobs in Bristow and Sapala. The town still boasts its original 1920s Route 66 concrete running right through the center. Several historic buildings have been seen, including the old drugstore and the Grimmel gas station. Though small, DePaul residents are proud of their history and the heritage along the Mother Road. So yeah, we're talking as 1,200 people down to what I say 400 at the most. Go back up here, 411. I mean, Route 66 don't run through there no more, and all those businesses just folded up. between that and the Great Depression. Good Lord, the town got brutalized. Okay, here we go, guys. We're heading out. We're going down to I'm going to mess this word up again. Amarillo, Texas. So hang in there. Till next week. Keep it spooky. And I'll see you on the other side. Thank you for listening to the United States of Paranormal podcast. Check us out at theunitedstatesofparanormal.com, where you can find our Spotlight of the Month, Fan of the Month, and all of our amazing merchandise. Or you can find us on social media at Facebook at the United States of Paranormal, Instagram at the United States of Paranormal, and YouTube at the United States of Paranormal 1795. And don't forget, we are now on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/2sop.
Please check out the other podcasts in the Golden Mojo Entertainment Network of podcasts. Golden 80s, Indiana Chiefs Fans, Gridiron Kings, Murd Nerds, The Nostalgia Tug, Real Terror, and the Puck Yeah podcast. But you can still find Golden Image Podcast, A Quart of Books and Booze, and The Call Guys, wherever you stream your favorite podcasts.
And if you have a location or a story that you would like for us to check into, please email us at theunitedstatesofparanormal@gmail.com. Please like, rate, and subscribe wherever you listen. Thank you for all of your support. Bye.